You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
Hello and welcome to the Up the Turnpike postgame show. What's going on? Matt O'Leary, Mitch Anderson. Mitch, how's it going, buddy?
As well as I could possibly do, considering they were up 3-1 with 7.5 minutes left to go. Yeah, that's how I'm doing. How are you doing?
Wait, you're telling me the Islanders blew a third period lead?
Yeah. What year is this?
Is it 2023, 24, or 2025? What is happening here? Yeah, unfortunately, not too surprising, but I was starting to feel happy with their third period play after a little bit of a sluggish start for the Islanders, and then things go off the rails here. So I guess just we could hop right into it here, Mitch.
Yeah, let's go right into it. And it starts off pretty well. They start the scoring with Simon Holmstrom with a nice pass from, I know we can't see the goal visualizer here for some freaking reason.
Yeah, they won't give it to me. I don't
Heck
know
of
why.
a pass by Kyle McLean along the wall, no?
Yeah, it was a good play. And Simon Holmstrom with a really nice finish. Nifty move in front. Gets Markstrom on the fake and tucks it in the back of the net. And, you know, Holmstrom's been putting up some points recently, which is a good sign and something the Islanders need more of.
Yeah, kind of like what Andre's saying. By the way, can we get more of this type of performance from Holmstrom consistently? I assume this is what the Islanders see from Simon Holmstrom when they keep putting him on the top line. They're like, if this guy could do this consistently, he's going to be a top 6 player. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's what they believe. And if he keeps doing this, as Andre's saying, more consistently, then maybe he could very well do that. It's that lack of consistency where we don't see this. It doesn't need to score every night. Obviously, very few players do that. But to have this kind of threatening performance, even then sets up Chalowski a little bit later. Spoiler, I assume. But yeah, to get on the board first, 13 minutes in, whereas you're saying we were kind of slow. Like we have 5 shots to their 10 in the first period.
Yeah, it was a lot of the play in that first period was down in the Islanders' end. And they were able to capitalize on one of their just few opportunities. Again, five shots on net in that first period. But Simon Holmstrom gets them on the board. They leave the first period up a goal despite being, doubled in shots, 10-5. And you're kind of like, all right, not great, but you'll take it. You'll take being up 1.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be up 1 at any point of the game. Minimum 1 is how you want to be ahead. And then you go into the second period and you take a really dumb penalty within 5 minutes and level game. Here we go.
Yeah, Dennis Chalowski takes a high sticking. I know he scored a goal later and we'll get to it, but Dennis Chalowski, there's a reason why he doesn't get a ton of ice time, and it sets up a power play. Now we have the visualizer on this right from the time right off the face-off. And just get it back to Jack Hughes. Mayfield goes for the block, and it goes pretty much right through him.
We have to stop being this shit on the penalty kill, man. It's so bad, right? Like we didn't lose the game because of this penalty kill. By no means did we lose the game because of that. It's another one of those consistent elements where you're like, man, if the penalty kill had been good, maybe we don't have to stave off a 2-goal lead in 7 minutes.
Well, Mitch, one of the 4 goals came at 5-on-5 in this game.
Right.
Every other goal was not in a 5-on-5 situation. One was a power play. The other was with an extra skater with the goalie pulled.
Yeah.
And then the other was on 3-on-3. So it plays into the narrative that anything besides 5-on-5 play, this team can't do.
It's really, and it speaks to the underlying numbers as well. At 5-on-5, expected goals for the Islanders is like the 8th best in the league. Yeah, exactly. 8th best. The only Carolina, Los Angeles, Vancouver, Washington, Edmonton, Colorado, and Toronto are better than us at 5-on-5 expected goals for. It's just we lose games when it's not played 5-on-5, which is mind-blowing. That we go from being a dominant team to a garbage team when we have less than 5 skaters on the ice. Ridiculous.
Yeah, just not ideal.
Yeah,
clearly.
kind of like Anthony's saying, like terrible PK, terrible penalty kill, like just awful. Just
Yeah.
it
The Islanders
can't be.
Islanders didn't get a power play opportunity in this game, but normally, yes, that's
Right.
that's an issue. Their special teams and in overtime is usually an issue for this team, and kind of put on display in this game in a 4-3 loss. Now, they would leave the second period tied at 1-1. And technically, they got one more shot in this period. It was 10-6 in shots, so nearly a repeat of performances, at least just on the box score right there.
Yeah.
But the second period did not feel very good.
No, it really didn't.
It was a tough period for the Islanders. I did not think they looked very good at all in that period outside of Ilya Sorokin. But they would start the third period pretty strong, and then unfortunately came crashing down. But yeah, let's go to the Nick comment here.
Yeah, like you got to feel for Sorokin because as you're saying, like he faced 20 shots in the first two periods, played phenomenally, gets left with a rough stat line. Plus, in a game where he would have gotten his 100th win, it's just he's so close. And you're right, like he gets shelled in the first 20 minutes and stands tall. Like yeah, he allows one on the penalty kill, but like the advantage is in their favor. What do you want him to do?
Well, I looked when this game was 3-2. He at that point had 27 saves on 24 shots, or on 29 shots, excuse me, which is a 931 save percentage. So in the span of like a handful of minutes, went from a 931 to an 879, and like that's not indicative. The 879 is not indicative of how he played. He was really good in this game.
We did that the other night, right? Was it on Wednesday or something? He had a 914 save percentage. And there's one goal that he either let in that was weak or shouldn't have gone in or whatever. He would have ended up with like a 932, which is a glowing save. It shows you like how inaccurate that stat is. Maybe not inaccurate, but how that stat, as you were saying, isn't necessarily as telling of the performance that we got out of that goalie.
No,
but yeah. Anyways,
which really sucks. But into the third period, Islanders get the lead just after the halfway part as Dennis Cholowski scores on an absolute beautiful feed from Simon Holmstrom here we'll watch in a second.
Watch this. Watch him. He hounds that puck, hounds it, and then cross ice.
Good vision.
Oh my God. Absolutely. And it goes back to what Andre was saying. If we can get this Simon Holmstrom, maybe like you think 2 nights out of 3, maybe even 2 nights out of 4, that'd be great. Well, we're getting it like 1 night out of 8, and it's just not enough. Fantastic. Good job by him, but like more of this, please. If this is the real Simon Holmstrom, may he please stand up every day.
Yeah, they need just a little bit more consistency. No one's saying like he's got to be doing that every single night. I think that's unfair and unreasonable, but he should be doing it to the point of where he's a 35 to 45 point player, not like maybe going to give you 24 points in a season.
Yeah, exactly. We we need more. We need more. We need him to be a 40 to 50 point player to even just almost justify that first round pick. I know I've said in the past that so long as he's an NHLer, it was a good pick. I think at this point we need him to be a 40, 50 player because oh my God, we are desperate for that type of production. Desperate.
It would be nice if they found it. But the Islanders would find another goal just shortly thereafter as Brock Nelson, who desperately needed to get on the score sheet. Islanders get a little breakaway opportunity here, odd man rush, and Brock's the last guy in and just rips one past Markstrom.
Hell of a pass from Kyle Palmieri, but it's all on Brock Nelson to find that lane, skate that lane, and take it. You just watch him take that space behind the D. So he's ripping it. Scott Mayfield's got his player, number 18, completely distracted, wide open lane, because he's just skating north-south. He's skating in one direction, which is what they wanted Joshua Sang to do, by the way. This was the one criticism, like I'm going to say valid criticism they had with Joshua Sang. He would not skate in a straight line up towards the net. He would dipsy and doodle all over the place. But Brock Nelson is showing like this is how you do it, man. And north-south, that's how you go. It's good stuff from him. My gosh, we need more of that Brock Nelson, please. But 6 goals on the year for Brock Nelson so far. Outstanding.
Yes. It was his first point in a few games, so it was good to get him back on the score sheet. The Islanders need him to produce point wise, and he did that tonight. Unfortunately, Mitch, that's the last good highlight because things kind of go off the rails after this. We'll start with the Dawson Mercer goal and weak play by number 8. You'll see here eventually.
I mean, Isaiah George gets walked pretty good there. Not gonna lie, but like, I wasn't too big on Isaiah George on that specific play. And that's not me hating on him. Like, he's gonna have a bad play, guys. He's 20 years old. But you're right. Like, number 8, Dobson's
he's just not physical enough.
Yeah,
he's not physical enough to get him off the spot. Mercer off that spot.
Yeah,
he had inside position and just couldn't do anything.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't crap on Isaiah George so much on that one. I think the alive looks worse than what you saw there. With the replay, how 47 gets, I think that's Cole or whatever his name is, doesn't matter. Number 47 from New Jersey gets around him. Cotter, that's it. George could have done better, but you're right. Like, once the puck gets there, Dobson's got to do something better than just like, like, we need him back on Twitter so he can delete it again.
To delete it again, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's on. I feel like find myself spinning in a circle here because, like, I want to get on Dobson for not being physical in that spot, but then it's like, well, Matt, he's never shown at any point in his career that he plays with physicality, so why am I going to expect that out of him?
Yeah, that's fair. At this point, at 24 years old, it's unlikely that he develops it. Although I've said that before about some players, like Sebastian Aho. I said wouldn't become a better player. He was 26. He's not going to get better. And I know he's not now, but there was that 1 year with the Islanders after I had made that declaration where he did get better. So there's a possibility here that Noah Dobson can get better in this regard. You just got to see it happen, man.
Yeah, you just got to see it happen. So now a 1-goal game instead of a 2-goal game, which means the Devils are going to pull the goalie. And with 50 seconds left, right in off of Grant Hutton's skate and in the back of the net.
Brendan Davidson level, thank God shit right there. Like, oh, I know he didn't mean it. It's complete accident, but
I know Chalowski scored a goal, but they want no part of playing Grant Hutton or Dennis Chalowski. And that's you could see that from the ice times when we get to that in a little bit.
Yeah. They need one of their D-back. I know Alex Romanov has been skating recently, so he could probably be back soon. I know Patrick Roy said that he'll be on the road trip, right? They got a 5-game road trip coming up.
Yeah.
And he will be on that. But they need him to play. Whereas Mike Riley will not, right? Mike Riley, they said, is out indefinitely, which I think was aided a little bit by Isaiah George.
Yeah.
Which is good. If he needs the time, take it. Just take it. And so it seems like that's what's going to be the case now for him. But you're right. They need to get rid of those 2 guys. But they can't do that until they start getting some warm bodies back.
No. So to overtime we go. Islanders get a couple of chances, but they end up, Jack Hughes ends up hanging out way behind everybody here. You'll see in a second.
Yeah. He reads that play well.
He did. It's not like goal hanging. You just read it really well, and Sorokin didn't have a chance, and that's all she wrote here.
And I know that's what I was saying. I had guests over today, so I didn't watch the game directly, but I had it right over here on my shoulder. First off, I kind of said exactly like, where's that comment? Nick said, I think we all saw this coming as soon as we went up 3-1. I remember telling my friends, like, oh, they're winning 3-1. And they went, great, you're going to win. I was like, no, they got 7 minutes and 34 seconds to screw it up.
Yeah, way too much time.
Yeah.
Way too much time.
And they looked at me they're not really hockey fans, or they don't really watch hockey. So they're going, really? This seems like improbable. No, just watch. I'm not saying they will screw it up because I'm a more positive fan, but sure enough, they did.
But they have done it a lot in the last 3 years.
They really have. And so we get the loser point, but yeah, it's just, we had this game.
I don't feel great about the loser point. I mean, like, sure, yeah, yay, right? You get the loser point, but I don't know. I was ready to be like, you know what? The Islanders, after losing a bunch of bodies, like they got a gritty win and now have won 3 in a row. Like I was mentally preparing myself and hand up, clearly got ahead of myself here. because that's not what happened. But I was ready to go on the post game tonight and be like, you know what? We gave them a lot of crap, and they've been pretty resilient. It wasn't pretty, but they're playing hard with a ton of guys out right now, and that it really puts a sour taste in your mouth and kind of changes the narrative here a little bit.
It does a little bit. Had they gone 3 wins in a row, okay, like that was okay, we got something, but losing this one, it doesn't sully the other 2 wins. It's just kind of like which one is it here? Because if this is the Islanders going forward again, I'm not stoked.
No.
I'm not stoked.
Well, both Cal Clutterbuck and Thomas Hickey on the broadcast recently have been like, they need to start stacking wins and to like get up over 500 and build some momentum. It's like a little below, then they get back to 500, then a little below, and then they're going to find their way back to 500. It's like, they're just hanging around.
They're just hanging around.
What is it, 15 points in 15 games?
Yeah, so they're about 500. So
flat 500.
Which is not terrible, right? I remember on the podcast, PS, sign up to our podcast, patreon.com/uptheturnpike. Podcast twice a week, dedicated Discord server, Friday 6-pack, more. Anyways, on that podcast, we were looking forward to their schedule and saying, so long as they can float 500 through the schedule as they wait for some of these warm bodies to come back, like Duclair should be back in about 2 weeks, ideally. Barzal isn't too far behind. Once they start getting some of those bodies back, and maybe Alex Romanov, now you have a more rounded defense. You've got your forwards back. Maybe they can then start pushing for above 500. But they've got to maintain that 500 during this break while they're out all these players.
I guess if they played better when they were fully healthy, I would be in that same spot. But we've kind of saw this team just hang around and be just very okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not there quite yet. I would like to see a little bit more. I'm still a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's totally fair. It's one loss though. So I'm going to be like, I'm sad and mad that we lost it in this way. The way we lost it is the worst part. It's not just that we lost, it's how we lost. We had the friggin', you're doing the thing again where we have to keep digging back up the same Islanders. We have to do it because you did the damn thing.
They keep doing it.
Yeah, right.
I would love to come on here and give them credit and be like, you know what, they're really changing the narrative, but they're not. They're just not doing it. They're doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. Almost as frustrating as a Rangers fan coming on here and be like, yo, what's up? It's me giving Connor a hard time, but hey, good for you. They won. It was a tough loss. Thanks for the shout out, Connor. Always love the love here. Sucks that your Rangers team won for me.
Yeah, 4-0 win. They're sitting at 9-3-1, 731 points percentage. Pretty nice. Not as good as Carolina's 833 points percentage right now.
So long as Artemi Panarin and Chris Kreider put up a crap ton of points and help me in fantasy, whatever. I'll take the win as a win as well, Connor. As long as your 2 guys put up points, it's a win for me too.
Love it. Thanks for hanging with us, Connor. Let's get back to the ice times now, Mitch. Who do you got leading the way for Isles forwards?
I'm going to say we didn't have any power play time, so I'm gonna go with Bo Horvat.
It's not, but there's 3 guys who are very close. So it's Brock Nelson at 19. Actually, it's a tie. Brock Nelson and JG Pajot both have 19 minutes and 36 seconds. Bo Horvat's at 19:26. So a 10-second difference.
I guess that does make sense. We didn't get power play time, but we got 2 penalties, right? And 2 are going to be the number 1 centers, if you will, on the PK. It's Pajot and Brock Nelson. So, all right, fair enough. Yeah, I should have gone that way.
Least.
Matt Martin?
Yes. 7 minutes, 10 seconds for Matt Martin.
Yeah. Playing 2 minutes in the third period. I saw the interview with Shannon and it showed his ice time at like 5:51 or something like that through the 2 periods. And so that's why I was leaning that way. Defense. Who do you got leading the way? I assume it's Noah Dobson leading the way from ice time.
It is 29 minutes and 48 seconds. He played a lot.
Overtime helped for sure.
Overtime helped.
They only played 2.5 minutes of overtime.
Yeah, he gets a couple shifts in overtime though. But he had 37 shifts on the night, which is by far the most. Next closest was Ryan Pulock at 33 shifts, played 24-24. Isaiah George, 2407.
Wow, he keeps doing the thing. I know we got a ton of comments on George here. I'm going to try to bring up as many as
I
I
wish
can.
he scored that goal in overtime.
Right, which is what
That's what
Andre's
I
saying
didn't
here.
know that Andre was going to say that, but on the same wavelength, if he scored, that would have been just cherry on top. He would have had his jersey in the rafters. Just about.
That'd have been so nice. And then Michael is saying he's looking better and better, and he's getting more confident, which is it's only going to happen because he's only going to be going up from there. Walter saying he's not going back, so that's a shout out to the podcast that we had done talking about Isaiah George after the first game. We said once everyone gets healthy, he's probably going to go back. But now that you've got Mike Riley indefinite, he's probably staying.
This is a Thomas Hickey, Devontae situation all over again, where Isaiah George is going to come up and just take on too much responsibility right away. Like he's gotten more ice time over, and I know it's only 3 games, but he went from 15 minutes to 23 minutes to 24 minutes. If he's already trusted 3 games into his career at 20 years old to play 20 plus minutes, like I get it. They don't want to play. I'm not going to spoil who's, I'm sure you'll guess who it is, but there's 2 guys that they really don't want to play at all.
Yeah.
But it's not like George has done anything egregious in his 3 games. We got on him a little bit for the Mercer goal.
Yeah.
But even still, I have more of an issue with Dobson in front. But we're nitpicking on Isaiah George if that's what we're getting on him for.
Absolutely, totally agree. And then Nick here is saying, like, seeing George looking solid makes me want to see Jeffries get a chance with the same type of leash George is getting. That's a fair comment. If no one has been paying attention to Alex Jeffries, please do so now. I know there was a question you asked me at the beginning of the year. Who's one of the prospects that you should be looking out for? And I said Alex Jeffries. And he's doing the goddamn thing. 9 points in 11 games so far at the AHL level. Just absolutely killing it. Hasn't scored in his last 2, but 9 and 11. Started off the year very well. And last year, 7 points in his first 12 games with the Bridgeport Islanders. Like, he's absolutely doing the thing. But let's see if he's going through a little bit of a lull, how long that lasts right now. But I totally agree with Nick saying, let's see him get that same leash. Put him in a top 6 situation. See how it goes.
I mean, I don't know if it could be much worse than what Matt Martin or Oliver Wahlstrom's giving you right now.
Oh, exactly. I agree with you. Okay. Least amount of ice time for defensemen. I want to say Dennis Chalowski because he took the penalty, but I'm going to go with Grant Hutton because I don't remember seeing him a whole crap ton out there.
You overthought it. Chalowski played 6 minutes, 45 seconds. Hutton played 15:41. So pretty big difference, actually.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. There's a couple of comments here about I'm not going to list them on because I don't want to crap on them too much. There's some negative comments about Grant Hutton. Nothing too salty or nothing too it's nothing offensive or anything like that, but I want to keep it a little bit more positive. He's just not an NHLer.
No.
And that's putting it nicely
clear.
based on some of the comments here. He's just not. And I think everyone agrees. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong. I would love to be that close to being an NHLer. That if I could make the amount of money that Grant Hutton makes playing hockey, which is still a decent amount of money, I would be so happy. I am already very happy in terms of what I do for a living, but like to be able to do that, that was the idea for Mitch growing up. When Mitch was like a 4-year-old, that's what he wanted to do. I was never able to do it. Even just at the level that Grant Hutton does it. He's still an outstanding hockey player, just not as good as you need to be for this level, unfortunately.
It's all in context. So the context of the NHL, it's not good enough.
No, exactly. So okay. And then so Elias Sorokin finished with the 887, you said?
879, 29-33. He really gets the short end of the stick in this one, which is annoying because he kept them in this game through the first 2 periods, and then the Islanders really let him down in that 3rd period. I thought anyway. I know it's so easy to, if you just look at the box score and go, you faced 33 shots, let in 4 goals, 879 save percentage. Like he wasn't great in this game, but I don't like that. Feels like the easy way out, and I'm not going to do that.
The Devils had a 3.7 expected goals for in all situations throughout the game. they were expected to score what they scored. So he stopped what he was supposed to stop. He didn't stop more than when he was supposed to stop, but like now we're asking quite a bit from him. Usually elite goalies stop a little bit more, but not every night. He still allowed what he was supposed to allow, so that's really on the team for not allowing those opportunities.
It was one goal at 5-on-5.
Yeah,
one was on a power play, one was with the extra skater, and then one was in the 3-on-3 overtime where Jack Hughes was all alone.
Yeah. Devils had a 2.4 expected goals for at 5-on-5. So he stopped 1.4 goals above expected at 5-on-5. That's elite territory, man. That's what it does.
Yeah, he was good. He was good in this one. But again, it stinks because he could have got his 100th win tonight. And his save percentage is going to take a hit, and goals against is going to take a hit when he actually played pretty well in this one. So
yeah, and Andre said the same thing. Save the team from getting blown out.
It felt that way.
Yeah.
Some final numbers here. We'll pull them up. Game stats: 33 shots to the Islanders 22. Islanders better in the faceoff dot. They've been a very good faceoff team this year. 55.6% to the Devils 44%. Power play 1 for 2. Islanders did not get a power play opportunity. So Devils, no penalty minutes to the Islanders 4 hits. It became a physical game in that second period. 34-24. Block shots 13-10. Isles more. Giveaways, Islanders more 16-11. Takeaways 14-8. The Devils with more.
Yeah. So just going through some of the comments here, like Nick was saying, how did they not get a single power play? There were plenty of missed calls, especially in the third. Overtime, that hooking on Bo Horvat. Like he's got the stick around. What are we doing here?
That was early overtime too.
Yep. Not saying we'd score, obviously, but it would have helped kill time. I totally agree. It's just I don't understand how we don't get a single call. I feel like Bruce Cassidy back when he played the Boston Bruins in the goddamn playoffs where he called us the New York Saints.
The New York Saints.
Yeah. We need to make coaching changes to address the PK. It's players, or we have made coaching changes. So this is kind of there was a discussion going on in the comments. I won't show all of them because I ain't got time for that. But yeah, it's on the players, man. It clearly is because coaching has changed. We need more than just changing the coach. The players have to do something about it.
Yeah, they should be better than what they are.
Yeah. Joe, it's coming back, buddy. It is coming back. It's just I took it off for the Halloween costume. It is coming back slowly but surely. That's why I got the full beard going, because it just having this growing, it would look bad out of context. So it's coming. Don't you worry.
I'm a big fan of the scruff.
Yeah,
I'm pro scruff.
Exactly. Where are we at here in terms of comments? It's either we can't score, but we can defend, or we can't defend, but we can't score. Yeah. Yeah. It's all over the place.
Not wrong.
This one's going to be kind of up your alley, buddy. Can we trade Dobson for a scorer?
This was a rant for me on one of the more recent podcasts. I don't feel comfortable giving him a long-term extension. I don't hate it. They'd have to bring in another defenseman, clearly, because you can't just move Noah Dobson and then not do it. But Dobson for Ehlers.
Ehlers is on fire this year. Like I think he's got like 13 points in 14 games.
They've been so good though. Do they want to touch anything? Like I feel like I wouldn't want to adjust anything. Yeah, he's got 17 points and 8 goals in 14 games.
Oh,
gosh darn it.
Oh, that would be so nice. That'd be so nice. Okay, keep going through. They're training for Tom Brady. I don't think Matt O'Leary could deal with Tom Brady on his favorite team.
No. It's gonna break my brain.
Yeah. We did talk about a Pelech buyout at one point. Like Isaiah George is maybe making it a little bit easier at this point.
I mentioned it. It's not that crazy. It's really not that crazy. Even when Pelech comes back, when the Islanders are fully healthy, how do you not have Pelech on the third pair with Mayfield and either have Isaiah George with Dobson or Pulock?
Yeah, you have to. Like you got to give it a try, man. It's why the heck not?
Pelech hasn't the last 2+ years now. He hasn't looked like the same guy. 21-22, he was pretty good. I believe he was an all-star that year, right? Pelech. And then after that, has not been that dude.
No, not at all. State of Survival blames me for all of their failures. That's fair. I accept that. I accept it all.
Because you shaved the stash, you think?
I did. It might be, but they got the 2 wins. They got the 2 wins.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
What do you think about Cole Eisman tearing it up at BU? Quinn
Dude,
Finley's doing the same thing. I agree.
I've been in on Cole Eiserman since they drafted him. Maybe that's just Islanders bias because I'm like, oh, now that the Islanders got this kid, like I'm gonna be all in. But it is pretty exciting to watch. And I'm gonna use a phrase from the youths.
The youths, huh?
Cole Eiserman's got that aura.
Oh, that's such an old saying. Unbelievable.
Aura?
Just recycling. Y'all young kids are just recycling shit we used to say when we were kids. I always said aura. You got an aura. No. You got the aura.
Always you know what aura? Okay. I'm glad you know all about it then.
Although maybe I don't understand it. I don't understand the Riz.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing as like
the Riz kid, whatever the hell he does on his face. That's so dumb.
The so Rizzler?
Dumb. He's so dumb. I can't. Why? It's so stupid.
I love stupid. The Rizzler. Every time Taylor and I go to Costco, I always take a video of the board, like in the food court, and zoom in on the double chunk chocolate cookie, and I send it to my buddy's group chat because that's my
okay.
The Rizzler is a part of the Costco guys universe. How do you not know the Costco guys if you know the Rizzler?
I don't know. Well, apparently I don't know him. I saw the thing on Fallon, and I was like, why does this kid just keep touching his face? I don't get it.
Yeah, the other guys that he's bring the boom.
Oh, I hate those guys so much.
That's the Costco guys.
Oh, great. Then I don't like them at all. They can bring the boom somewhere else. Jesus, Murphy. I hate them so much. I'm sorry. If you're listening to this, I don't hate you as an individual. I hate your shtick. Sorry. You're probably a very nice individual, but
I hope it never dies.
Oh, God. Brandon says they blew it. This isn't a trend. It's their identity. I'm going to go out and say this might be the best game of Ilya Sorokin's career so far. Sucks. Such a great performance was wasted. Is Brendan Paul some sort of like rearranged lettering for Spiz, Matthew Spizzero?
Maybe.
This sounds like Spiz. That's not a shot, Brendan. Spiz is a very good friend of ours. And he's on the same wavelength. Like this is who they are. I guess the trend was the two wins. Other than that, like this is who they are according to Spiz.
It has been that way.
Yeah. So, yeah. And then just for good measure, the Rizzler is a Rangers fan, so screw that guy. He's a kid. How old is he? Like 6?
He's got to be like 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah. Don't screw it. He's internet famous at 6. I wish I was internet famous at 6. I don't like his shtick, but I also not 6. It's not for me. Anyways.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
The best.
Whatever. Unbelievable. I can't believe you're friends with a Rangers fan.
I'll take a bullet for the Rizzler.
Oh, God. Do you want to take a bullet to the head on this one here? Just end this
I think so.
On this game?
Yeah, I think that's going to be all she wrote for us tonight on this one. Islanders up 3-1 with 4 minutes and 29 seconds left in this game, and they lose 4-3 in overtime. This is just what they do. It's what they do. It's who is it, Dan, who had that comment?
Yeah.
Where he's like, this is their identity? Or you're right. Brandon, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It was Brandon. This isn't a trend. It's their identity.
But great Dan, all the way at the beginning, thinks or says, who didn't see this coming the second they went up 3-1.
Yep. Anyway, all right, that'll do it for us. We'll be back with a podcast on the Patreon tomorrow, so we'll have you covered on that. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Matt. He's Mitch, and we'll catch you next time.